Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Me again, Shannon Fox here, the Road to Patriots 2 channel. And I got several things I want to show to y'all today, some things that I found. Not going to do a whole lot of reading. Hadn't got a chance to do a whole lot of research today. Been a busy day. But truth be known, I have got some great clips that I have been able to find time to watch over the last day or two that I thought were definitely worth talking about. So let's get this done, folks. Just in AOL, otherwise known as AWOL, absent without leave, Texas Democrats have unveiled a new plan to try to strong arm the GOP amid the redistricting fight. They left town and now they've got ransom demands. Basically, they say we'll come back only under certain conditions. We'll come back for the flood relief, but that's it. It won't go down like that. They got all kinds of ideas of what should be and shouldn't be in order to come back. There's no negotiating here. And Abbott is basically telling them that as well in a tweet. He's telling them to kick rocks. It's laughing at him in so many words. Says Democrats fled to Illinois last week to block Republicans from voting on the new congressional redistricting map, as we all know. And Ken Paxton and Governor Abbott threatened the derelict Democrats with arrest and removal if they didn't return to the Capitol. And they give them more time. Well, Texas Democrats will reportedly return to the Capitol for Governor Abbott's second special session to vote on the GOP redistricting effort. However, the timing is unclear because now they're making up demands. According to the Associated Press, Texas Democrats won't return home unless the Republicans end a special session and California releases its own redraw map proposal. Bullshit. Says Texas Democrats also on Thursday moved closer to ending a nearly 2-week walkout that has blocked the GOP withdrawing of the U.S. House map for 2026. Says they said the Democrats announced they will return so long as Texas Republicans end a special session. I already read that. Wait a minute. What am I doing here? It says on Wednesday, an Illinois judge denied Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton's request to enforce arrest warrants against derelict state House Democrats, meaning you couldn't come over to another state and arrest them without, I guess, that particular judge's permission. Ridiculous. Says Judge Scott Larson said Paxton failed to present legal basis for the court to obtain subject matter jurisdiction over the cause of action. Baloney. Governor Abbott laughed at the Democrats as they made all kinds of demands for a second special session from Chicago. How embarrassing, says Abbott. Texas Democrats mailing in their demands from Chicago. Come back and fight like Texans rather than running and hiding like cowards. Oh, we're going to have to show them we mean business. We're going to have to find a way to get them back. Or just wait them out. They'll come back. They have to. They got families here. And they're all going to probably catch charges at the rate they're going with the fundraising and all the stuff that was going on with Beto O'Rourke trying to help these guys out. But we do got some good news because that is going to turn out to be good news when the Democrats finally have to show back up. It's happening either way, no matter what. But next story we got for you today is a tweet from the FBI Director Kash Patel, and this is pretty encouraging. Since Trump has decided that they're going to clean up D.C., just in the last 3 days, Kash Patel is reporting since last night, the FBI and our partners have made 45 arrests total, 29 immigration related, 16 tied to violent crime surge, and 3 firearm seizures. Charges include assault on a federal officer, possession of child sexual abuse material, illegal firearms, drug trafficking, fugitive apprehension, and Subway sandwich assault. Now, if you haven't seen the Subway sandwich assault, someone literally got a felony today for throwing a sandwich at an ICE agent, and sure enough, come to find out it is a DOJ lawyer, man in a pink shirt. I hope it was worth it, dude. Hit somebody with a foot-long sub sandwich and go to jail and lose your job in the same day? Well, that was a crash test dummy. Yep, Attorney General Pam Bondi says law enforcement officers will be coming after you. We just learned that the defendant worked at the Department of Justice and no longer. Not only is he fired, but he's been charged with a felony. I love it. Things are starting to shape up. ASAP. I love it. Yep. Facing felony charges behind throwing a sandwich. That's it. Us Republicans are getting tired of this crap. And that's why I wanted to play you this video here. If you listen to what James Comer says in this video, he says Americans and Republicans are tired of it. We're ready for these criminals to be dealt with. I'm ad-libbing there, but listen to what he says. He's talking about this Russia collusion hoax that's happened, and the team we've now got put together from Kash Patel, Pam Bondi, Todd Blanche, all the prosecutors that are going to help fix what has been broken by throwing the criminals in jail and getting rid of all this illegality. And if you listen to James Comer, I believe him. I believe that all of this is happening from several different directions at one time, several different investigations about some of the same people, and it's all going to come out like it's going to be like a flood. It's going to be so overwhelming, the amount of people that are indicted, and then it's going to be waiting on your case to come to trial, and then it's going to be going through the whole process of sentencing and everything. It's going to take a couple of years at least to get this totally done. But I believe we got time. We got 3.5 years of Trump while we push for prosecutions on all these clowns. Now let's get into what James Comer was telling Maria Bartiromo. Let me pull this down. There we go. This is good stuff.
Schiff was your colleague in the House. I mean, he was the chairman of the Intelligence Committee at one point. Now he's a senator. There's been no accountability. Why should we expect any accountability anywhere?
Well, this is the opportunity that conservatives have been waiting for a long time. Now we have people like John Radcliffe, who, along with Devin Nunes, have been saying this was what was taking place for a long time. Now, with access to the National Archives, we have the evidence in the form of emails to prove this is what's happening. It's up to Pam Bondi now to take this evidence and hold people accountable. And if for whatever reason, people like Adam Schiff and Clapper and Comey and Christopher Wray, if they get by with what they've done and are never held accountable, I think there's going to be a lot of disappointment among conservatives, because we've sat back and we've watched this happen over the last 5 to 8 years, and nothing's happened. Now the evidence is clear. It's time to hold people accountable. It's my understanding, yes, Maria, that there are grand jury deliberations taking place. It's my understanding that the Department of Justice is serious about taking this evidence that's emerged and holding these people accountable, and I certainly hope that's what happens.
Well, what do you know about the statute of limitations? Because John Radcliffe, the CIA director now, joined me just last week and told me that when you're talking about conspiracy, it does not, a 5-year statute of limitations does not apply. And, you know, it begins, the timing begins on the last time you, quote unquote, conspired. And if they're still lying about it today, I mean, we had another bombshell disclosure by FBI Director Kash Patel just this week, new whistleblower testimony, accusing Congressman Adam Schiff, then Congressman, now Senator, of approving a 2017 plan to leak classified information in an effort to damage President Trump's first term. Is that not a felony? The documents are from a former Democrat staffer on the House Permanent Select Committee on Intelligence. Schiff's office calls the allegations categorically false, Congressman. And President Trump is now calling on Attorney General Pam Bondi to investigate Adam Schiff and Hillary Clinton. Watch this.
I actually told them, I said, you know, they got this phony investigation going on, Russia, totally phony, created by Adam Schiff, Shifty Schiff, and Hillary Clinton and the whole group of them. And it made it very dangerous for our country, because I was unable to really deal with Russia the way we should have been. I'm looking at Pam, because I hope something's going to be done about it.
Oh, there it is.
It's a good point that he makes. He was not even...
Trump just looking at Pam. Y'all catch that? Trump says, I'm looking at Pam, and I'm really hoping something gets done about it. That was the tell-all right there. So we've got the leader of the Congress. We've got the leader of the free world, President Trump. We got Pam Bondi talking it. We got Kash Patel and Dan Bongino promoting it, referring it, helping get these things rolling in the right direction. We've got John Ratcliffe. We've got Todd Blanche. We've got Ed Martin. We've got several headhunters that are going to do their job. They're going to investigate these things fully, make sure they're airtight cases, see how many charges we can rack up on each one of these individuals to decide which ones we want to go after them for, if not all of them. People like Adam Schiff, they're going to have 5 or 6 charges available for them, and they'll probably try to throw the heaviest ones at them, or maybe they'll try to throw it all together and make it a RICO case just because of the amount of corruption these people are involved in. I can't wait till they get into the amount of bribery these people have been involved in if they ever go down that street. That'll be fun, because then we'll have to have special elections to fill up the Congress. That's what I believe. But I do believe that we're headed in that direction. I believe everybody's looking forward to it, not just me and you, but the Congress, the lawyers, the prosecutors, Janine Pirro, the people that are actually now in charge of deciding the fate of these criminals. It's past time. The American people are not going to sit here and wait till Trump's term is over to find out nobody went to jail. We're not going to accept that, and they know it. They know we wasn't going to accept that the Epstein list was done. No, the Epstein evidence was closed. It's still not closed, folks. We may not hear a whole lot more about it at this time, but there is a continuous open investigation. I do believe on that, even though they fumbled the ball at the beginning. I believe they've seen that the American people don't want to be lied to, and definitely want to see people be held accountable, especially those sickos like the pedo types, and politicians as well. Crooked politicians. They ruin our lives with their greed. It's not necessary, so make them pay. The way they treated Trump, make them pay. What they done to our country, make them pay. Now, folks, I have got a couple of clips here for
was itself a bastard.
I got a couple of clips here for you. I wanted you to hear. It is the great Megyn Kelly with Mike Davis, who's Article 3 Project, one of the smartest guys out there in politics as far as I'm concerned. He knows the ins and outs of all of it. But I just wanted to play the segment because he is talking about exactly what's coming down the pike. Alright, this thing's acting weird on me. We can jump over the next one. Alright, we'll go to the... Right there, perfect.
Trump International Golf Links in Scotland. There's a real question about whether she could do any of that. But this is one of the many reasons why very few people are shedding any tears that Tish James herself is now in some legal trouble because she appears to have committed mortgage fraud, which she denies.
Yeah, I would say this to Big Tish. You better lawyer up because nobody is above the law. We know that she applied for a mortgage in Virginia in 2023, and she said that this home mortgage was for her primary residence. The problem is that she was the New York Attorney General, and under New York statutes, you have to be a resident of New York. So I don't know how you could be a resident of New York under the statute and have your primary residence in Virginia in 2023. And she has bigger problems than just mortgage fraud. As we've been discussing on your show, Megan, for 3 years now, since the Mar-a-Lago raid, these Democrats, politicians, and operatives engaged in an illegal criminal conspiracy against rights.
Illegal conspiracy against rights, and that is what they're going to charge her with, folks. That is going to be the hammer. That is going to be the hammer, no doubt about it. Now, he has another segment on here about 13 minutes in I thought was great as well.
Yeah, I was going to say, didn't the New York Post also reports that Big Tish listed her father as her husband for mortgage applications in 1983 and 2000?
Not to be confused with Ilhan Omar, who actually married her brother. So I want to keep it straight, Mike. But the other thing, I just want the audience to be clear. So you've got this potential criminal investigation into Letitia James on the mortgage fraud and the alleged mistakes she's been making on her real estate investments. And then you have what you just mentioned, Mike, which is an investigation into her for this violation of rights, this conspiracy against rights, which has a very amorphous name. But that's something else. That's the Trump DOJ looking into whether her, not a prosecution, but her civil case that just tried to bankrupt Trump and get all of his buildings was itself corrupt, was itself a bastardization of the law meant to get a political opponent as opposed to meant to genuinely restore justice on a mortgage or on an application that she says inflated values. Meanwhile, none of the banks who were the alleged victims complained at all. So those are two different things she's dealing with right now, Mike.
Yeah, that's exactly right. This is the 18 USC Section 241 conspiracy against rights investigation we've been talking about for 3 years since the Mar-a-Lago raid. When you politicize and weaponize law enforcement to go after your political opponents for non-fraud and non-crimes, that is the textbook classic definition of conspiracy against rights. And I would say this: we have 2 U.S. attorneys who the Senate just got confirmed. You have Judge Jeanine Pirro in Washington, D.C. You have Jason Redding Quinones, my friend, who just got confirmed down in the Southern District of Florida. Those are 2 jurisdictions, 2 venues that you could open up this probe, because remember, this conspiracy also involved doing the Mar-a-Lago raid. So maybe they can open up a special grand jury in Fort Pierce, Florida. Maybe they get Judge Cannon as the judge on that case. And then maybe you start issuing subpoenas for every one of these bad actors, these Democrat politicians, these judges, these prosecutors, these attorneys, these other operatives, both inside and outside of government, who engaged in this obvious criminal conspiracy against rights.
Yeah, Mike,
Megan,
can you, in 30
add,
seconds or less, can you just describe the claim conspiracy against rights?
Yeah, I mean, conspiracy against rights is a civil rights statute. And when you use the power of governments, government actors colluding amongst themselves or with private citizens to violate the constitutional rights of Americans, like they did to President Trump with this lawfare, that is the definition of conspiracy against rights. It is a very serious federal civil rights felony. These lawfare Democrats better lawyer up, because I think they're going to go to jail.
You know, that is the charge. Why I brought you this clip here is conspiracy to rob somebody of their rights is what a lot of these people are going to be charged with. That's what I'm guessing on. The ones that are the hardest to convict on specific crimes for lack of details, lack of enough proof, they will get them on this conspiracy charge, because they will be able to say, look, we got part of the puzzle. You got to know they were involved. And they will get them on conspiracy against Trump's rights. They treated Trump like a dog for the most part of 8 years. And the legal weaponization against him, that's going to backfire on them, and so bad. Trump has already been vindicated 100%. He doesn't ever going to have legal problems again behind those people again. But most likely they're going to have legal problems of their own. And that's what I do believe at this point, folks. And that conspiracy against rights is going to be the probably the number one charge you see out of this Russia collusion hoax conspiracy, because it's easy to pin it on them if you know they were involved. And it's a felony, and I am so glad to hear they're going towards it. You hear the tone of the video clips I'm bringing you today, folks. We're working towards getting these people sewed up so they get subpoenaed, indicted after investigation, and get incarcerated. We want to see them all go to jail. It don't have to be this week. It don't have to be this week. It don't even have to be this year. I can wait till 2026 if that's what it takes for the first one sees the bracelets. But build your cases tight, get them done right, and let's get them all. That's the plan. Let's get them all. And speaking of all of them, one of the ones that I haven't heard about in a while, Dr. Fauci. Well, Dr. Fauci's even under the gun now, not just by Rand Paul, who wants Dr. Fauci put in prison, But it says breaking in a bombshell development. DNI Tulsi Gabbard has confirmed an investigation into Anthony Fauci for perjury. We know he lied to Congress, no doubt about it. He lied on the stand behind his emails. His emails proved he lied when they cross-examined him later. Behind the emails that they found after he lied the first time. He lied several times in front of Congress about gain-of-function research and so many things. He lied about his role in gain-of-function research and the Wuhan Institute of Virology. He probably lied about the fact that he didn't take any contributions. That's one of the many questions they asked him. In his part to cover up in his efforts to cover up the COVID, they're going to uncover the truth, and his ass going to go to jail. He's going to jail for a lot of things, including owning stock in Pfizer and Moderna and all these companies that he is pumping the jab to America on false pretenses, follow the science in order to get rich.
But the thing that we are working with Jay Bhattacharya, the new NIH director, on with, as well as Secretary Kennedy, is looking at the gain-of-function research that, in the case of the Wuhan lab, as well as many of these other biolabs around the world, was actually U.S. funded and leads to this dangerous kind of research that, in many examples, has resulted in either a pandemic or some other major health crisis.
Well, let me ask you specifically, because we already know that EcoHealth Alliance was partnering with this Wuhan lab to do gain-of-function research.
That's right.
We just have never been able to have somebody say, it was that exact experiment that led to this COVID bug. But have we gotten there? What's the new thing that you're digging in on?
We are working on that with Jay Bhattacharya and look forward to being able to share that, hopefully very soon.
Okay.
That specific
link.
Correct, between the gain-of-function research and what we saw with COVID-19.
I mean, that would be extraordinary, because just so the audience knows, if that's true, if it was Peter Daszak's research with the Wuhan so-called bat lady that caused this pandemic, then we did fund it. Then Anthony Fauci helped fund the pandemic.
The thing that he denied over and over and over to Senator Rand Paul's questioning.
That's right, under oath.
Under oath, exactly. So is it any wonder that he sought a preemptive pardon for anything during a certain period of time by President Biden before he left office?
And then strong-armed and smeared people like Dr. Jay Bhattacharya, anybody who came out and said, I don't know if that's natural. This actually smacks of lab.
And the reason why this is so important is not just what happened in the past. It's because this gain-of-function research is happening in biolabs around the world. I got attacked, and I think you saw this, we've probably talked about it on your show before, when I warned against U.S.-funded biolabs in Ukraine when the Russia-Ukraine war kicked off for this very reason. Who knows what kinds of pathogens are in these labs, and if released, could create another COVID-like pandemic. And for that, I was called a Russian asset. You're, trumpeting Putin's talking points, all of this nonsense, simply for speaking the truth and stating facts that, by the way, are still on U.S. Embassy Ukraine's website today.
So do y'all think people like Adam Schiff, Nancy Pelosi, Dr. Fauci, Clapper, Brennan, Strzok, Carter, Page, so many, Chris Wray, so many could go to jail. The entire J6 committee, as far as I'm concerned, they could catch that conspiracy charge. I think Fauci could catch that conspiracy charge as well. Conspiracy to destroy somebody's rights, to rob somebody of their rights due to your position. Well, I believe Fauci did that with his lies. So I believe that charge is going to stick for a lot of them. So tell me in the comment section down below, if you're still listening, do you think anybody will go to jail, or are you still a naysayer? Because I'm at the point to where I have a whole lot of hope and a whole lot of faith that God's going to make this work just how it's supposed to, where we get we get a revelation with the reckoning. We get to learn something while we get to see something happening in real time. And these people are going to be made an example of. So others will learn and others will know not to go down that road. This is going to be a big wake-up call for a lot of people in America, mostly known as the Democrats, when they realize that their party lied to them and half the people they believed in are in jail at one point because of the way they've treated not just Trump, but the entire nation. That's what I got for you today, folks. Let me know. Like, subscribe, and share. Over and out.